Hello, this is Dr. Eric Bricker and thank you for watching AHealthcareZ. Today's topic is hospital pricing is like Costco. Now what do I mean by that? What I mean is in Costco there are certain items that are incredibly cheap. Let's just say like the paper towels. And those are referred to as like the loss leaders. And then there are other items at the Costco that have a much higher profit margin. I don't know this for a fact, but let's say it's their flat screen TVs, right? And I'm just saying that because as soon as you walk into most Costco's, like that's what's there, is the flat screen TVs, because they want you to walk by those high margin items in order to get to the paper towels all the way in the back. Okay, now how does this apply to hospitals? So, here we have a matrix of facility allowed amounts for commercial insurance. And let's say Hospital A has a contracted rate or an allowed amount of $9,000 for labor and delivery. And that same Hospital A is reimbursed $7,000 for a cardiac procedure. Let's say like a cardiac cath and having a stent placed. Okay, now, down with Hospital B, now, I've talked about this in a previous video, where their contract will be sort of the flip opposite, right? Where labor and delivery, they might be reimbursed only $4,000 compared to the $9,000, but they'll be reimbursed $15,000 for the stent. And so what happens here is that you end up having an aggregate discount of 50% with the insurance carrier at Hospital A and 50% at Hospital B. And so, in aggregate, both contracts look the same. However, they're different depending upon, they're different discounts or they're different allowed amounts, depending upon which service that you're having. Okay, that's pretty well established. Most everybody knows that, right? How the price can be highly variable for the same service, right? So having a baby could be $4,000 or $9,000 in the same area, right? So these two hospitals could literally be across the street from each other. Or a stent could be $7,000 or $15,000. Okay, so the variability of in-network contracted rates for facility charges is widely known. It's one of the big reasons why folks are pushing for transparency. However, oftentimes what people say is, oh, but it varies by insurance carrier as well. So the deal that one insurance carrier get, like that $9,000 might be dramatically different for one insurance carrier versus another. And the answer is, that's not really true, okay? So that $9,000 amount for labor and delivery at Hospital A and this $15,000 amount for cardiac services at Hospital B is similar across all networks, or most networks. And the reason for that is because the hospital is trying to drive volume to highly paid service lines. The hospital is trying to drive volume to highly paid service lines. So in other words, labor and delivery is the highly paid service line for this particular hospital, and they do billboards and commercials about how they're a fantastic place to have babies. And then Hospital B talks about how it has the best cardiologist, it has the best emergency services, it has the best services to get you your stent in case you have chest pain. If you have chest pain, go to this place because it is fantastic. And so this hospital, Hospital A, they don't have billboards about that, but Hospital B doesn't have billboards about having babies there. Okay? Now, those hospitals cannot selectively drive volume by insurance carrier. I'm going to say that again. Those hospitals cannot selectively drive volume by insurance carrier. In other words, like they can't say, oh, well, we've got a really good rate for Blue Cross, so for Blue Cross people driving down the highway, we'll make sure that they only see a billboard that is for labor and delivery. But for UHC, we've got a highly different contracted rate. Let's say, let's pretend that like UHC got a much better deal at Hospital A for labor and delivery. They can't like not have a billboard for UHC people, right? They don't know that when they're driving down. They don't know that when they're watching TV. They don't even know that if they're posting Facebook ads. Okay, so the point is that this whole, now, they might be a little different, but overall, across the insurance network for one particular hospital, the highly reimbursed service line is going to be pretty similar, and the lower reimbursed service line is going to be pretty similar. Likewise, at Hospital B, the service lines might be the complete opposite, but they're like the same across all those different insurance carriers. So this is a little nuanced point. It's pretty complicated, but it's something that's important for all of us to understand. And that's my point for today. Thank you for watching AHealthcareZ.